Hello, this is Natalie Joel, living keto with Nat. I started doing keto after I tried everything, nothing had worked. I tried exercising, didn't help. You can see me before, and now here I am at gym again, doing the same thing, hitting the tire, loving how I feel now, enjoying life so much. And back to GoTarryn.
Side by side, all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa, once again, is Natalie Joel. Natalie, how are you doing out there today?
Very well, thank you. And how are you doing?
Good, thank you. And I wanted to tell you first, right off, that is a nice background. I like the elephant painting. What's the significance? What's this painting? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Actually, there's no significance. We have a lot of street art that people stand on corners selling the art.
Oh, okay.
And my daughter, who works also in this premises, she's one of the partners in the accountant's business here. She was loving. We show it to you now. So
oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty.
She was loving this picture. She was driving past it all the time. One day she gave in and she bought it, and now it's in our boardroom.
Oh, that's nice. Wow, it's large. It's so big. It's very nice. I like it. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, speaking of happy, how have you been doing? How's the family and how's everybody down there?
All good. All good.
Oh, it froze again, Natalie. I'm sorry. Did you get me?
Fine.
Oh, okay, great. Good, excellent. And how's business going as well, too?
It seems that people are getting back their positivity.
Good.
And business is improving, definitely. And how are you finding it also?
Yeah, likewise. The same here. It seems like I spoke to Anthony last week, our mutual friend, and it looks like things are definitely getting back into normal. And one of the things that he and I talked about that I'd love to discuss with you was with everything going on, specifically, of course, the pandemic and COVID, what the best benefits of exercise and eating right were, if there was a correlation, and how that impacted our fight against this. And on the flip side, if we're not in shape, if we were obese or suffering from any kind of heart conditions or what have you, any kind of cardiovascular disease, how it could negatively, affect us from this disease. So what's your take on it now? I know we haven't had much long-term research on it yet, obviously, but now that we have had a year or 2 years go by, what do you make on that? I guess on the flip side, on first, if people are not healthy and not doing well, what's the dangers there that you perceive?
I'm talking about the COVID and the body's not being as good as yours.
Right, exactly.
And not going to Tarryn to get exercise.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
I actually saw yesterday, somebody sent me a very interesting talk, but it was quite long and I didn't finish it, that there is definitely coming out, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending where you're standing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel, is that COVID-19 is definitely linked to metabolic syndrome issues.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to know exactly where to hone in on people. And if people have unfortunately got various autoimmune illnesses, they are getting it a lot worse than others. And there was this whole speaker's thing about it, and it was excellent from what I heard. And it seems to be anecdotal evidence around a lot that unfortunately those people who are not metabolically healthy are very sadly, very scarily getting hit a lot worse than people who are very fit, or within their ballpark figures of what they should be like, weight-wise, health-wise, and all those type of things.
Yeah, and I guess it makes sense, doesn't it? Because we see that with all the other, major diseases, and so not surprising. And what's your take on? Because one of the other things that we talked about, Anthony, he did end up getting the COVID vaccine. At first, he told me he was kind of hesitant to it, but then he went ahead and did it. How about the people's natural immunities? Because I know that's another discussion here. There seems to be a difference of opinion and arguments, especially here in my country, the United States, where people who've already had COVID, for example, and have the natural antibodies, there's some articles suggesting that they shouldn't get the vaccine, and then on the flip side, the doctors, some of them are saying, no, come on in and get it. So are you hearing that split kind of disagreement or argument down there as well, too?
I don't think as badly as America. America seems a lot more divided than we are here. But it's also anecdotal. What I've been reading, what I've been seeing is that obviously if you get the COVID, you've had it, you've got all those antibodies. But I heard from various sources that the vaccination seems to have extra, I don't know how it can be if you've got the ill, but it's got extra things, maybe the extra protection of other things that helps a lot.
Oh, okay.
And I'd rather have that jab than end up being ill. We feel that we might have had a bit of it, but we've had we've had it last year, and then we had the vaccination, and then we felt a bit ill, but we didn't panic because we had the vaccination and we'd had it last year. But then a couple of hours later we felt fine again, so I don't know if it's just flu. Everybody thinks everything is COVID. It's COVID. I've got this, it's COVID.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just our mindsets have become so neurotic. But I actually haven't studied it, I can't tell you. But personally, myself, I'm very much in favor of vaccinations. I had the flu vaccine every year. I had flu, but then I still had the vaccine again. You know, it's just take what's there that you can. We only have one life. I don't want to die. I want it to continue for many more years. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and another thing, Natalie, I was talking to a psychologist over the weekend who, when we were discussing everything going on the last year and a half, she said that her business has just exploded and boomed, and I totally get it. And one of the things she enlightened me on, I didn't realize this, that in our country here at least, the medical industry here in the United States was allowing individuals to go see.
Sorry, which industry?
The psychology industry. That they could go see their psychologists or psychiatrists and totally under health insurance payments and full subsidy, where usually that's not covered. For example, if someone goes in to see a psychologist for anxiety or depression or what have you, most of the times, a lot of times I've seen where they don't have that covered as a benefit, or the medical industry doesn't deem that as where they would pay in full, but now they are. And so she's seen that her business has really taken off because anxiety, depression, suicide and such has just gone up. So have you seen that down there as well too, as far as the negative effects?
It is, I think, from also anecdotal. I'm not a doctor or any of those things.
Sure,
but I see around that people are terrified. They're walking around in a state of fear.
Right, exactly.
Not normal.
Yep.
Not normal to be this way.
Yeah.
To walk down the street, you see somebody coming and it's mad.
Yeah.
The fear factor, and amongst children, it's so scary what's going on with them as well. That they're not playing like they should be. They're not interacting.
That's
like
true.
They should be.
That's true.
And it's a major problem.
Oh, it really is.
And anxiety has gone through the roof.
Yeah, and you were right, Natalie, a few minutes ago. You mentioned how here in the U.S. where I'm at, it's so divisive, not only with the vaccines, I'll tell you, but also the other issue is the masks. And I can see both sides on this one as far as the masks are concerned. Where I kind of have problems with things with disease control and such is that the masks, putting them on the little kids like 2 and 3-year-olds, or in my case, my 4 and 6-year-olds, I have issue with that. And I know that some people say, well, it's not a big deal, or others say, no, it really is. And schools, I mean, we're having issues and problems all over the world, but here especially with the fighting and just, again, strong opinions on either side. So what's your take on the masks in general down there? I mean, is it a big issue? Is it a big deal? Or I guess not as much as here in America, I'm guessing.
I think masks are ridiculous, to be quite honest. So you put on the mask, you go to a restaurant. So the virus doesn't come down here when you sit here at the table with the mask. It floats over here. You know what I'm saying? Then you stand up, goes the mark. You sit down again, people take it off. Does that make sense? Does not make sense. I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, I personally,
yeah, right, sure.
Totally useless. If you wear a mask and you wear glasses, spectacles, I don't know what you call them, glasses, I don't know what you call things. It steams up. It steams up. It's ridiculous. You can't. It's impractical. And these poor little children walking around with masks on. You know, that's how to them that's normal. They don't know different. Anywhere you can't. I don't know. You go into the shop, the stores. You have to put a mask on. Yeah. If you are walking in the streets, you don't need it if you're with distancing with people. But I really don't think that the mask. You look at areas where they don't have masks. You look at areas where they're crazy about masks. They have the same stats. Makes no difference. As I say, I'm not a doctor. I'm just looking at it anecdotally, looking at what I've seen around. But some countries, I think Sweden doesn't have masks on public transport and things like that. And their statistics are the same. Everybody's the same. You know, it makes no difference. The only thing is that obviously they won't have that fear factor as much. So the anxiety, the depression, I suppose, are not as bad as places where they do insist on the masking and the spraying and all that, the temperature. I mean, I've been taken some places here. They insist they take your temperature before you can go. So I don't know the American Fahrenheit, but here it should be 36 point something. That means you're healthy.
Wow.
I'm often 34, which means you're virtually dead. I've once been 24, and I've said 24. She said yes. Under 36. I said it was 24 on The Walking Dead. You know, it won't be 24. But it's crazy. It makes no difference.
Yeah. And you know you're so right, Natalie. Like I couldn't agree with you more because we have the same problems here. You know, like one of my clients, for example, she's a PhD epidemiologist from a very prestigious university, and she said basically what you said about the masks, that they're absolutely worthless in terms of prevention, because she said for example, most of us wearing the masks are wearing the same mask during the day, and in the amount of time she said like within half an hour, that mask is full of bacteria and germs, and she said that if you changed your mask and had a brand new one every half hour, that still would possibly only mitigate in terms of prevention, just a very, very small fraction, which would be insignificant, in her opinion, and so she basically advised me, she's like, they're just, like the same thing that you said, that you look at these other statistics everywhere else, why isn't all these other countries like Sweden or what have you, or these different places that don't enforce masks and such, shouldn't they be in panic and chaos? But that's not necessarily the case. And the weird thing here, Natalie, there's several places that, and I don't know if you see this. For example, you'll see people driving in their car with a mask on. You'll see people running outside and exercising with a mask on. And what drives me nuts is in the gym. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand it. Or in the fitness center, for example, people wearing masks while they're working out too. I mean, I see it every day, and I just am puzzled by it. And I don't know. I think you're right about the fear mongering. I think the media here, at least, has a big problem with that, and they definitely should assume responsibility for that, because I think a lot of people are just hyper paranoid around this time because of that. It's so strange, yeah. But now the flip side of it is, what you specialize in with helping people and coaching people. So if we're not living an unhealthy lifestyle and all of the risk factors and such, we talk about some of the things, and you're so good at this all the time, of what we can do, what is in our control. And can you kind of go into that a little bit and discuss why it would be important for someone to, let's say they've never exercised or believed in exercise, or let's just say that they don't care about eating healthily, why more than ever now would that be such a good idea for them, especially with everything going on?
Well, to get to your side of things, the exercise, I'm just saying from my point of view, you're the expert, is that sitting down and cogitating and getting worked up, it's not healthy. Just going for a walk often helps clear the mind and just makes you take note of what's around you, and you take your mind off yourself, so to speak, and look at things around you, and it helps your body de-stress. It helps you get rid of some of your anxiety. And by going for a walk, if you have never exercised before, or going for a run, or gym, or swimming, if you have done it before, it just releases endorphins, and it just makes you feel calmer. And that's what we need now. We need to integrate into our lives a sense of calmness, because there's so much hysteria and there's so much fear that you can hardly breathe sometimes. You see some people, they're virtually hyperventilating when they see you don't put a mask on. They're ready to lock you up away. You're the most dangerous person around because you're not masked. And it's a major problem. So by getting yourself fit, by able to get oxygen into your blood.
Oh, yes.
And by taking the mask off, you can get more oxygen in, because you're not breathing in your own air all the time. It helps the person to feel more comfortable with themselves and to feel better about themselves. That's what it's all about. As I mentioned earlier, we have one life. We may as well enjoy it. On a long journey, you might as well enjoy the ride, because whatever you do, you've got yourself with you for the rest of your life. And you have to make sure, well, you don't have to, but one should ensure that one's life is enjoyable. Because you can't change the environment, but you can change your thoughts. And if you can change your thoughts to improve how things are around you, things are, so by doing the exercise, you are clearing out the negativity a lot. Often one feels at the end of an exercise, because you might be so stiff you can hardly move, but your brain is not so stiff anymore. It's more jumping around. Did I manage to do that? I can't believe I did this, for the exercise. And then you're not so negative, because you can't believe what you actually managed to do. So the same thing with coaching people on a healthy way of eating. I don't say to them, today we're going to do the Boston Marathon. You can't start never getting off your seat to suddenly do the Boston Marathon. But you can say, today I'm going to walk half a block. So you could say, today we're going to read through, for example, what food we are allowed to eat. Because everybody always thinks, I can't do this, I can't do that. They don't think, what can I do?
Yeah, that's true.
They're so filled with fear of, I can't eat this and I can't have that. They don't think, I can enjoy whatever it is. I can have a plate of whatever. I can enjoy my food. I can enjoy life. I can use spices. I can use herbs. I can By putting that positive slant onto how we going to look forward to losing the weight, gaining the health, which is often more important than losing the weight, because by changing the way we eat into this way of eating that I help my clients with, it takes the inflammation out of the body, and inflammation is causing most of the autoimmune illnesses we have. It causes all the autoimmune illnesses, and by correcting that, your body will start healing and will stop holding on to things, and the weight will come off, but the health will come back, which I never realized. My husband and I didn't realize before we started.
Yeah, it's amazing.
As I've mentioned to you before, he no longer has diabetes. I follow a lady who had the most terrible multiple sclerosis. She was so bad that she was on a reclining wheelchair.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Now she cycles races. From correcting the way she eats, she decided, I'm not interested in what all these doctors, what all the other doctors were saying to her. It's not working, and she started following things up, and she came to eating the way I eat, and she healed herself. There's multiple sclerosis, there are psoriasis, there's rheumatoid arthritis, ordinary arthritis, all the things that people think is a sign of aging, or my grandmother had it, therefore I'm going to get it. My grandmother had it doesn't mean I have to get it. My grandmother or my uncle, my father or somebody was 3 foot square, doesn't mean I have to be 3 foot square. I might have the genes for it, but I don't have to follow that path to get that way. It's the same. I'm definitely going to have diabetes because this person, that person, It's not true. If you don't eat the way that they did, if you don't live the lifestyle they did, why should you? My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather all died of lung cancer, for example. I'm just saying. But they all smoke 20 cigarettes every day, or 40, whatever it is. But if you don't smoke, then why should you have to think, I'm also going to die of lung cancer? That type of thing. It's all up to us. Everything is under our control. We can take things and we can turn them to make them better. And it's all in our mind. We just got to say, I can. Whether we can or whether we cannot, it's up to us. It's there. It's our choice.
Yeah, you know, you nailed it, Natalie. All about what we can do, and I like that because it is all in the mind. And I like what you said also about gaining health. That's such a great term that people probably don't, including myself, don't really give enough time to, because here in where I'm at, people are so self-conscious about weight and weight loss supplements, and you see the commercials. I mean, half of them show a before and after. I mean, you're the living proof, Natalie. I mean, you did it the right way, the healthy way, and yeah, exactly. I mean, that's amazing, and you didn't do it with any kind of fad diet gimmicks or any kind of fun, you know, tricks like that. I mean, you did it the right way and the healthy way for sure. And so if you can do it, you know that it is our choice. It's whether or not we want to or don't want to, I guess. You know, so that's so true. And you know, the psychology of it's definitely there, because you see a lot of people that it's just, you hear all the time, it's just too hard, I just don't have the time, I just not meant to be thin, or I'm supposed to be overweight, this is the way I'm supposed to look. You know, what do you say to all that, Natalie? I mean, again, you're the living example of that. What's the best kind of thing to say to people when they say that?
You cannot change someone else's mind. They have to do it themselves. And when they are ready to say, okay, I want to lose the weight or gain or get rid of the diabetes, the psoriasis, the acne, because acne and eczema is also Western diet. You take certain foods out of diet, the acne and eczema go away. I used to have eczema, it's gone. Until they can say, I want to gain my health, or I want to lose the weight, because the weight thing is people don't even think of their health. I want to lose the weight more than I want that delicious slab of chocolate or that cookie. Only then will they be ready to do it, because they might say, yes, I'm going to do it. And then keto doesn't work, this doesn't work, it doesn't work. It works, you don't want it to, you don't get it to work. It's like saying, I bought this puzzle doesn't work, it doesn't fit together. Because you don't sit down and read the instructions and put it together. So the same with you, with a person. If you don't follow the instructions, if you don't try it properly, nothing's going to work. You know? So it's up to, you can coach the person to help them on their way, but you cannot change their mindset. Like the person says, I want to lose my weight because my boyfriend thinks I'm too fat. As long as you don't see, as long as you think you're okay, and your boyfriend will never win. You have to decide yourself, because you cannot lose the weight for somebody else. You can only do it for yourself. And until that time,
yeah, you know, you're right. And
no
you know, it's funny because I was just telling Anthony how here in our country, you know, we're approaching the opposite of you. We're coming into the cooler, colder weather, and as we get closer to people staying inside and more indoors because it's just too cold outside, we're going to hear that a lot. I've already heard several people tell me that here we are, not even October yet, just about almost October, and they said that I promise January 1, January 1st, New Year's resolution, I'm going to really do it then. I'm really going to get back in the gym. But right now, it's just, I got too much going on. We got the holidays, we got, you know, our American holidays, which we have a lot of them here, and so once we get past through all that, I'll be back in the gym, Taryn. I'm going to exercise, and I'll be there after January 1st. I promise you. It's going to be New Year's resolutions. So do you hear that a lot, Natalie, down, you know, in terms of like just wait till the new year and I'll get back to it, or, you know, what do you say about holding it off or pushing it off like that, like 3 months? Yeah.
They're not ready. That's it. Because you just fool yourselves. What they say, you can't fool anyone, you can just fool yourself. It's if the person's not ready, they're going to make excuses by the score.
Yeah.
And when they're ready, there are no more excuses. You're ready to do it. When you hear people making the excuses, you know, you're not gonna convince them, because even if they do start, within a week I've got a sore toe, my head's sore, I've got to work out, excuses come up all the time. So until the person is ready themselves.
Yeah, it really is a lifestyle, isn't it? It's consistency is the key, isn't it? Yeah, I see that here, like, and I'm sure you've seen it as well, after the new year, gym memberships, and my business, January 1st, I will say, there are a lot of people who are ready because they are in the gym. It is just busy, but then after about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe in the first week of February, it's almost back to normal. You lose all those people who, I guess they just figured they weren't ready, like you said. So it's easy to start something, like they say, but it's really hard to continue doing that thing, whatever you're trying to do, whatever it is. I mean, that is the key. I mean, it's just amazing. But you're so right, Natalie. And as far as personal and professional challenges for you for the rest of this year, I mean, you're always so busy with your programs, but can you tell us a little bit about what you have going on, both on a personal level and also for your business for the rest of 2021?
Well, I'm very grateful and very happy that my business has picked, maybe because it's summer here or spring, but a lot more people are interested, and I'm very fortunate that I've got the best clients in the world at the moment. They are amazing, and they're really keen, and I think they're all going to do very well. So that's great. And at home, it's spring, so I'm enjoying every morning sitting in my garden and looking at amazing birds.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. Wow.
Johannesburg is the biggest man-made forest in the world. Yeah, it's amazing. And we've got trees. So people always say to me, we've got birds. We've got birds like you cannot believe in our garden. We've got weaver nests. We've got, I don't know if you've seen a weaver nest. It's a very interesting nest. It looks like an upside down, but it looks like a bell. And you think, how on earth do they keep things? My husband yesterday said to me, it's curved underneath. So it looks like this, but it actually comes around. So the little birds must be under the flap. And it's amazing. You just see these nests everywhere. I've even got bees. Very big tree. I've got a syringa tree. I don't know if you know what a syringa tree. It's a very big tree. So it's the birds. I've got parrots, parakeets, and then different flowers.
Nice.
It's just so calming and relaxing to start the day, sitting in the garden and just admiring nature, just saying, isn't this a beautiful world? It's a wonderful start.
Yeah, that's that's great. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, and I'm glad for you that you're coming into the really nice weather, nice season where you're down there. That's beautiful. And well, Natalie, again, time just with you flies by so quickly. Thank you so much for everything. Your advice and everything that you said on here was just perfect, like always. Can you please, last question, tell us how to reach you directly if anybody wants to contact you and has any more questions, how they can learn more about and get in touch with you, please.
Okay, I've got 2 Facebook groups, Natalie Joel and Living Keto with Nat. I'm on Instagram at Living Keto with Nat, and I'm on LinkedIn on Natalie Joel. So you're more than welcome.
Very good. Thank you, Natalie. And we'll have that on the screen right now as we close out. And Natalie, thank you again. And be safe, be healthy, and I'll look forward to talking to you next month.